Welcome back to the Sideline Report. I'm Marvin Jackson, along with Barry Bad News Barnes, who's joining us. All right, and also our Nicole White.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, and coming back from the first segment, Leon Joe, former University of Maryland football star and NFL star. Now, Leon, tell us a little bit about the organization that you belong to now.
The organization is CDI, stands for Culture Development Institute. We're generally just working with sport-specific training for the youth in the area in the DMV, and we have 5 of the area's top athletes that came through here, including Lamont Jordan, J.B. Brown, Derek Finner, myself, and you know, we're just training the next generation of Maryland athletes.
All right, and I guess young people, is there a way that they can get in touch with your organization?
Absolutely. You can look us up at cdifitness.com, or you can come by either one or 2 of our locations, which is in Lanham or Waldorf, Maryland. All
right, doing some good things out there in the area. Now let's talk about the Washington Redskins game against Dallas. We saw the sound bites from the Redskins and from Coach Shanahan. Why don't you start out, Bad News Barnes?
I come with good tidings.
You come right.
It's like we all bad tonight.
Why don't you start out with it? Just summarize that game and where the Redskins are going.
Well, they play with passion.
Okay.
You know, one thing that no one can never deny about the Redskins, they never quit. These guys always play hard in and out. But yesterday it was different. London Fletcher's last game at FedEx Field. Mm-hmm. They wanted to send him out, you know, with a win, to solidify his career here. And the way the defense played, Sunday they played very well. You know, the Cowboys was up early, but they got 3 back-to-back, 3 and outs in the third quarter, got back into the game, got a 9-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and they stopped them twice, you know, held them to 2 field goals in the red zone area. And when you looked at the way how the game was going towards the end, you looked at the situation that, yes, they stopped them earlier, they can do it again, they had the confidence there. But we see, again, with the Redskins, when it comes down to situational football is the key. Like I said many times before, they had the best offense, they had the best defense. But if you can't execute that play that you need at the right time, and you can't make that stop, you're really not that good. And it just showed that the Redskins, something they struggled with all year, making that last stop, you know, with DeMarco Murray getting out to the outside, wide open in the field. That shouldn't happen. You know, one of the things I'll go back to in that fourth quarter when the Redskins had the ball, I wouldn't have ran the ball at that time. You know, they ran the ball with Morris twice. I would have went, you know, to try to put the pressure on and be more aggressive because the Cowboys can't stop the pass. They're the worst in the league. Took advantage of that to try to protect their defense, to keep them off the field, not to put them in that situation where they had to go out and try, you know, to stop them, and then at the same time come in the last minute and try to win the game on the offensive side of the ball. So it's more about, you know, the coaching situation, recognize the situation that it is something the Redskins struggled all season and it backfired, unfortunately. But the defense came to play, everybody came to play to send that man off as a winner.
All right, what do you think about the new quarterback out there?
You know, I actually thought he did pretty well. It looked like he was very accurate. He was very confident in his throws. Obviously, there were some, like the one to Santana that was behind him, so of course it makes it difficult to make the catch, and then you have the interception. But things like that could have happened to Robert too, so that really could happen to anyone. It was just so frustrating because with the Redskins, it's not like they're, I mean, they haven't been that great, but it's not like they're terrible, terrible, terrible. You know, they did have the lead at one point during the game, and so in that final 2-3 minutes, I was so frustrated watching the game because to see Chris Baker get that penalty called against him for his helmet coming off, I was just so mad because I'm like, he didn't do it on purpose. You know, it just kind of came off of his head, but it's like, oh, we were right there, we made the stops. And then to see what happens at the end, you just felt like the wind got knocked out of you as a fan.
Leon, have you been in situations like that when you were in the NFL? I mean, this team just seems to just come up short every week.
Yeah, well, I mean, the NFL is just a competitive place, and you know, you gotta be able to make the play when the time comes, and they just fell short, and you know, that's really not too much to be said, but you got to make the play when it's your turn to make the play.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about London Fletcher. You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
London Fletcher, this guy did a pretty good job of playing, 16 straight years pretty much without injury. We've got some footage of London Fletcher. Let's hear what some of the players had to say about him also.
10 years ago, came into the league with as a long shot, but based on God's plan, I was a sure shot. People didn't know what was inside of me, what he put inside me, what I was playing for. It was more for my family, trying to put them in a better situation. And I thank Coach Vermeil, Dave Vermeil, who was the right coach at the right time for me, gave me a true opportunity to make his football team with the St. Louis Rams, and all my coaches and teammates along the way.
You always want to send a guy out like London, and with the win, disappointed we couldn't get it done.
When you got a guy like that who's given everything to this organization and to the game of football and to the NFL, obviously you have that in the back of your mind that you really want to get that win.
Tremendous amount of respect for London as a player, as a man. People see what he does on Sundays, but I see him in the off season. I see him at practice. I could only hope one day to be the professional that he was.
I mean, we wish we got him a win, in this last home game, but nonetheless, he had a great career, great guy, and definitely, Locke happened to be sitting next to him. I'm definitely been picking his brain, so hopefully I can use, what I did learn, going into the future.
For him not to miss a football game playing middle linebacker, the way that he played the game, I don't think people realize what they've seen here the last 7 years and what the NFL has saw the last 16 years. And, in my mind, I know this is ways down, but, he's a Hall of Fame player.
A lot of respect in that locker room for London Fletcher, playing 16 years and never really injured much. Talk about that, Leon, because you were a linebacker in the NFL yourself.
I think his teammate had it right on. I think this is Hall of Fame caliber. I don't know if the general fan base really recognizes how special that is for a guy to play middle linebacker at that level and never miss a game.
Yeah.
I played 4 years and I still ache. So I mean, just in comparison, I'm an outside linebacker. I don't get as much contact as he does, and I never played with London, but I played with guys that played with him, and they had the utmost respect for him then. Just really a good deal for Washington to have him play for our team.
Mm-hmm. And the leadership qualities, right?
Yeah, I mean, with London Fletcher, he wasn't, your rah-rah guy inside the locker room. He was more of, let me be an example on the field.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's the NFL's Iron Man. Had to play the most consecutive games as a linebacker, played the most games consecutively in the NFL. When you undrafted and you get into the NFL and play, first of all,
from a Division III school.
Right, exactly. I mean, just making the NFL, guys like Leon, Lamar Jordan, P.J. Brown, the guys that was here earlier, just making it to the NFL says a lot, because they were able to do things, something that millions could not, ever achieve. They were one of the best players that ever played, all four of them. One of the best players that ever walked the face of the earth to play in the NFL. And for London to do it for 16 years is definitely an honor. I think he's definitely a Hall of Famer. When I talked to him, I said that the only thing he was missing was a dance.
Right.
He
doesn't have a dance
at all.
Doesn't have the rhythm, huh?
Right. A man of great faith, had one of the biggest Bibles I ever seen inside of his locker. Hopefully he get his due on a national level. On the national level, everyone knows who he is. Champion with the Rams, coming to Washington. I wish it was a situation where the Redskins, knowing they trying to rebuild, that they would have probably just sent him and Santana Moss off to another team, just for the sake of trying to win again. But he wanted to stay here. Santana Moss, as well, wanted to stay here, wanted to build something. And although they didn't win again late in his career, he's still a winner because he did so much. And hopefully, at the right situation, the perfect storm, that the man get immortalized forever can.
Nicole, any remarks?
Yeah, you never hear anything bad about London. He just played and lived his life with so much integrity and so much character. You just never hear anything about him on Twitter or Facebook, TMZ, media takeout, any of those types of things. But you do hate for this to be his final season with the Redskins, just because it was so negative and there was so much drama affiliated with the team. But after giving so much of yourself, of your body, so much sacrifices for 16 years, I think once you're kind of embroiled in that kind of drama, you're just tired. You know, you really are just exhausted and you're ready to move to that next chapter of your life.
Yeah, and I think he wants to be with his family. He had his
Yeah.
3 little girls,
Right.
well, 2 little girls and a son with him
Okay.
Sunday, and it was adorable just to see him with them. I think one of the little girls said, "Daddy, why do people keep talking to you today?" And he said, "It's Daddy's last home game." And she said, "Well, when are we going home?" You know, she didn't really care about him being a football player. You know,
Yeah, she wants her dad.
yeah,
With her dad.
yeah.
I would love to see what he
It
would
was
say about the
adorable.
Redskins
Yeah.
after his career, though. I'm really interested to see
Yeah.
that.
Now let's talk a little bit about Coach Shanahan. Is he coming back, Leon?
I have no idea. Just to play it safe. After a year like this,
Like
of
this,
course, I would
yeah.
imagine he's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
You know, the fans in the Washington area are pretty demanding. We're dying to have the winner. We have, you know, the tools, so we're expecting.
You expect him back?
Well, I do have a remedy that I
Okay.
think could work with the Redskins. First of all, start with Dale Snyder. You know, he have to rebuild Washington as a place, a destination where people want to come to. He have to make this franchise appealing to coaches, number one. I think since his with his tenure, he never had a head coach that finished out his whole contract. Shanahan had 1 more year left. I think what these guys need to do is really, right after the last game next week, is that sometime that week after they have a break, that he, RG3, not his father, these guys get together and sit down and just talk it out. They need to really iron everything out and then form a bond that would say that we're a united front. You know, we're going to keep Shanahan for 1 more year. He's going to clean out some of the coaches he have here. Please stop talking about John Gruden, because the man is not leaving that booth. I wouldn't. You know, try to find another offensive coordinator, someone that no one, you know, will talk about or give another shot. You know, you have, you know, your Mike Shula down with the Panthers, and you have your Daryl Bavell up in Seattle, you know, or, you know, Jay Gruden, his brother, Cincinnati. Bring some new, fresher guys here that will hold these players accountable. And then at the same time that these guys get on the same page, and then if stuff in the locker room is not, you know, going well, don't let the media know that stuff not going well. Y'all keep that tight-knitted, and y'all just become a bond. Don't let, you know, no one get and break that chain. So I really believe that I think Shanahan, because there's no one else out there, Shanahan want to do the right thing. You know, although despite what reports are coming out, I just think these guys need to come together, you know, form that bond, and just say, look, this is what we're going to do that's moving us right direction, because the NFL is better when the Redskins is great. The NFL is better.
Well, speaking of the NFL, who are you guys picking to go to the Super Bowl? Who are you picking, Leon?
I'm going to have to defer.
You can't defer. Nicole?
I'm saying, I know a lot of people are saying Seattle, but I
Okay.
really like San Francisco 49ers.
You still-
And I see Denver Broncos winning the Super Bowl. So.
All right. What about you, Barry? Got a few seconds here.
The best team, unfortunately, is not going to make it into the playoffs, and that's the Cardinals right now. So I will say Seattle's going to make it, but I, for some reason, I just cannot get the Patriots out of my mind. And if Cincinnati can win on the road, they can make it too. I don't have confidence in Peyton Manning in playoffs.
All right. One more chance.
One more chance, I'll take it. I'm going to say the Carolina Panthers.
Oh,
good
wow.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on a roll right
I
now.
like the way Rivera
Making
coaches
big
his
plays.
defense.
Right.
And if Cam gets in hot, I think they got a good shot.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for being here. Hopefully, it'll be a good Super Bowl. I think it
Oh,
will
it will be. It will. It'll be a nice cold one.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. Thank you, Bad News.
Hey,
you brought some good news.
See, I told you I
today.
came with good time.
Bad News Barnes and Leon Joe, thanks for being
you for
here,
having
man.
me.
It
Thank
was
you for
really a
having me.
pleasure meeting you and having you here, along with, in the previous segment, Lamont Jordan and J.B. Brown, and always Nicole White.
Thank you.
All right. And Also, always thanks to all of our Sideline Report team for making this possible. And to you, our viewers who are watching. Be safe and enjoy the holidays. I'm Marvin Jackson. Have a happy new year, everybody.